Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. Today is day 4 and I am exhausted. I didn't really sleep well last night, so I really thought, I'm like, am I really going to do this video? And I was like, yes, I'm going to do this video. But am I going to write? I'm going to try to write. Am I going to get to my 400 words? I don't know. And this is the thing. And this is kind of some of the advice I have given in one of the books that I've written. The days that you don't feel like it, or the days that would be the most worth it, even if you did 5 minutes. So I'm going to time myself. I'm going to time myself. If I can get through 5 minutes just to kind of warm me up and get me going. I need to check to see where I um, stopped yesterday. So, where I need to pick up. I did 3 scenes in chapter 1, and now I'm going to start a chapter 2 because I think the way that the third scene ended was like, chef's kiss. It was perfect. Okay, so got the timer. Then I want to share this with you, but let's just get through this 5 minutes first. Start. Okay, got my outline. Here we go. This is good. This is really good. Oh, my 5 minutes are almost over. I'm at 49 seconds and I'm already at 114 words. Okay. And am I still sleepy? Yes, I'm still sleepy. But, you know, the blood, the blood is flowing through the brain. And this is good. Okay. Finish that. Now that my juices are flowing, let's get into this book real quick. This is a book I wrote. As you can see, it's very, very thin. Altogether, it has 39 pages, and that's just a contact page. But this book is called Creative Courage for Your Next Chapter. And what I realized, because I'm over 40, as you can probably guess, I'm Gen X. Sometimes I grew up in an era where we didn't have social media, of course, right? I grew up in the 80s. And with that, I've seen the evolution of how we went from, I remember in my grandparents' house, in my grandparents' house, they had a rotary phone. I remember it hanging up, a yellow phone hanging up on the kitchen wall. And so then, like over time, then we got push button. And then once we got push button, we got call block. Oh, I remember when, it used to be where you would call and the line would be busy if you were on it. And then if you wanted to interrupt, you had to call the operator to say, oh, you have a collect call from, which means you were paying for it. They would want to break the line. Well, are you going to accept the call? And you would be like, no. Or then we got where we had call interrupt, where you could hear the boop, of course, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, girl, somebody on my other line, hold on for a minute. And you would click over to the other line. And then three-way calling came in about, oh man, I remember those days when three-way calling. So with three-way calling, you had to call somebody who had three-way calling, right? Then they would call somebody with three-way calling, and then you would end up with like 9 to 12 people on the phone, and we would call it a party line. So that was great. Then I never forget, if you were in trouble, and everybody did this. If you were in trouble and you got your phone privileges revoked, because in my day growing up, talking on the phone was everything, right? So if you got the phone privileges revoked, you would wait till your parents went to sleep and you would get on the phone, but you would call either the time or the weather, and you would sit on the phone listening to the time and the weather just repeat until your friend called you, so the phone wouldn't ring, so you can hear the call interrupt. Now, I don't even have a landline in my house. That's the funny part. But anyway, so this book I wrote for people. I mean, it can pertain to anybody, but it's really about people who are over 40 and they're looking to get their groove back. And they just don't feel like that they can compete sometimes with the folks that's in social media, the younger folks. So I'm just going to read a little passage. This is the foreword. Let me guess why you picked up this book. You're scrolling through social media, watching some 23-year-old influence talk about following your passion. While you're wondering if it's too late. Okay, where was I? Had a malfunction. Or maybe you're sitting, I was reading the book. Okay, let's start over. You're scrolling through social media, watching some 23-year-old influencer talk about following your passion while you're wondering if it's too late to follow anything except your mortgage payment schedule. Or maybe you're sitting in another soul crushing meeting, doodling in the margins of your notebook, thinking about that novel you always said you'd write, quote unquote, someday. Well, someday just called. Bring! We're here. It wants you to know, when are you going to show up? Here's what this book won't do. It won't tell you to quit your job tomorrow and live in a van while you pursue your art. It won't pretend that creativity is all about vision boards and manifestation journals. And it definitely won't suggest that you need to find your authentic self by taking a pottery class in Tuscany. This book lives in the real world, where you have bills, responsibilities, and a sneaking suspicion that everyone else figured out their life's purpose in their 20s while you were busy learning how to adult. That's how this book starts. All this to say, it is never too late to pursue your dreams in terms of what it is that you want to do. So you could do it the way that you want to do. Be the pioneer of whatever it is that you're going to do. Okay? You don't have to live up to anybody else's standards. You can set your own standards. And so this book is on Amazon, it's Kindle, it's Audible, and you can get a physical copy. So maybe tomorrow we'll read some more, just a little bit. But I was just feeling like, okay, what is my story going to be today? But I can agree. So I have to talk about other stuff. I don't think you just want to sit here and watch me type. And that was the message. You're calling, and you may have bills, but that doesn't mean that you can't dedicate 5 minutes, like I'm dedicating 5 minutes right now, despite the fact that I am hella sleepy, to your passion project. We're at 128 words. I think the timer is good. Normally, I don't write with a timer unless I just need to get 5 minutes. And I think I'm going to set it for 5 minutes again. And whatever, or maybe 10 minutes, I'll set it for 10 minutes. And whatever I get to in terms of these 10 minutes, that's it for the day. Because I'm sleepy, but I did it. And that would suffice in terms of me continuing to do what I need to do. So, focus timer. I am putting in 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and let's go. I'm already at 284 words and still have 4 minutes to go. Boop, boop, and we're done. And I got to 422 words. Like, what? I did it, despite the fact that I didn't think I was. That was 15 minutes. 5 minutes beginning in, 10 minutes going out, 422 words. It's Friday, bitches. Let's leave with some parting thoughts here. Okay, in the afterword. If you made it this far, you've already done something most people won't. You finished what you started. That's not a small thing, especially with creative work. Here's what I hope happened. While you were reading these chapters, maybe you rolled your eyes at some of my stories. Maybe you thought, this woman doesn't know what she's talking about. Or maybe you nodded along thinking, finally, someone gets it. These reactions are valid. What matters is that something shifted. I'm still figuring this out too. Last week, I submitted a piece to a publication and immediately wanted to crawl under my desk. The imposter syndrome voice that, excuse me, the imposter syndrome voice was loud. Who do you think you are? you're not a real writer. But then I remembered what I told you in chapter 3. I have something valuable to offer, and so do you. I'm going to finish out this scene real quick. And I'm going to go lay down and have me a nap before I get up to edit my baby, my political thriller. So thank you for joining. Happy Friday. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.